Great.
I'm just going to look up here. Okay, calling this order to order. I call the meeting to order. Everybody here? We're all here except Cheryl.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Hi, everybody. Nice haircut, Peter. Anything else?
You need to be sarcastic.
I'm not. All of them were cut, and they're very nicely.
Cheryl's husband had hip surgery today, so she said she wouldn't be here. So hopefully everything went okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
check in with her. Everybody, can we approve the minutes of the November meeting?
Can click on it.
Move to approve the minutes.
Anyone-
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Oop, I'll go back.
It's okay.
That was the minutes.
I don't see a public comment. So I'm going to move past that. Any announcements?
I put a few on here, and then if anyone else has some, I was looking up what meeting bumped the Arts Committee, but unfortunately, we don't have this room on January 13th, and I looked for other rooms, or I looked for other times and days that week in the council chambers and the following week, and I couldn't find any available times. And given that our agenda is pretty minimal, Jenny and I decided to cancel that one. So that means everyone has 2 months to do whatever they're doing and bring it to the to bring it to the February meeting.
Okay.
And then I had a stack in my hand of the Albany Winter Spring 2020 Activity Guide, which has summer camp highlights. And then we had medical emergency in the community center, so those are back there. But you'll all get one to your house here in the next few days, probably.
Okay, great.
If you haven't already. And for Cheryl, I'll pass these around. You can take a few. But Ava Charney Danish, her exhibit opens on January 11th with the reception on January 12th. So we hope you can all make it to the reception. She's as you can see, the photography artist. That was, Cheryl had asked me to present that. So if there's any other announcements.
We just had our meeting at the Albany Film Fest. Just to update you. It was our selection meeting. A bunch of us had screened all the submissions. There were about 103. And we made a kind of a preliminary selection. And
Oh,
I think we take between 30 and 35 to actually show at the film fest itself, and then some of them are pulled out because they're more for kids or they're done by.
Do you have a microphone? Here, you pushed it away when you were giving top secret.
They're done for it's like Albany youth films, so it's a separate program for teenagers. The only and I found out that the gala, to which we're all going to be invited, I think, is going to be at the Albany Community Center the night before the screening, which would be Saturday. Sorry, I don't have that date in my head. It's like the last weekend in March. And the only challenge we really have is funding. Apparently, we're running short on the sponsorship, trying to get companies. They're either not answering or they're saying no. So, got to devote more effort to fundraising.
Is that about how many submissions you have normally? 103?
Yeah, it's been 90 to 110 the last couple of years, as I recall.
Yeah.
It changed a little bit this year. Amazon used to have its own gateway called Without a Box, and
I'm very familiar with them.
yeah, and they canceled that as of September, I think. So we were thinking that we were going to lose a lot of submissions, and a lot of the good submissions were coming through Without a Box, professional filmmakers. But I guess everyone knew that, and they just moved over to Film Freeway. So we ended up getting just as many as before, and from all over the world again. Had a bunch from France, some from China,
Cool.
India. Some of the Middle Eastern filmmakers, for some reason, tried to sneak in for free by insisting they were residents in Albany, but
Albania. No,
Yes.
that
Oh,
would
right.
that's what it was.
be European filmmakers.
Funny.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway.
You caught
that's-
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's it's a normal mix. A few really outstanding, I think.
Great.
Great. Well, one of my favorite aspects of the film festival, I don't know if anybody would do this if you didn't have a kid, it was hilarious, is the little kids' afternoon at the community center. Put all the gym mats out, and the kids have all made little films, like an hour, a minute and a half long, or 3 minutes long, or 5 minutes long. Who knew? They're really cool. There were some very cool films last year. Little kids in Albany making films. It's great, and they're thrilled.
It's always a packed house,
It's always
too.
packed. It was great. So that's great. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad you're doing that. At presentations, is that presentation? Is that our presentation?
No presentations.
There are no presentations. Okay. Let's move into discussion and possible action on matters related to the following items. So I almost feel like we should do 6-2 first, because I think it's going to be a report back, and that I want to have some discussion on 6-1. Can we reverse
Sure.
the order?
Okay.
Go, Peter, please.
Okay. I don't know if you've seen, but up and down Solano and then some scattered parks around town, we have our signs up. There's, let's see, wish I could remember. I think there's 45 yard signs and 30 posters that go in the big belly containers. And they've been up for almost, just 2 weeks. And I'm going to take them down this weekend.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, I think if they stay too long, then they get beat up, they get lost, and people have seen them, so I think
Yeah.
it's good to keep them up shorter rather than let them go long. And I haven't got many comments, but I've heard from friends that people stop and look at them, take pictures, and share them, so seems to be going well. I haven't actually seen any that are stolen the way we got them
Right.
last year.
They seem sturdier this year.
It's the same,
Is it the
same
same
stuff,
material?
but we had a particularly good inserter working.
Yeah,
Did you do that?
yeah, I
Oh,
did.
good. Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Along
Thank
with a
you.
friend or
Thank you so
two,
much.
right? Too,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, thank you for your help on
Yeah,
that.
thanks
You're
for that.
welcome.
Yeah.
That was very helpful. So I can go around and pick up the yard signs. The big bellies, can I leave that in the hands of the city, do you think? Okay. Do you have a
need
map?
someone from
where
the
they are?
city to do the big bellies with you? Are they different? Are they hard to get out, the big bellies?
No, you just need a separate, you need a
key?
separate, you just need a special tool.
That's what I
It's
wondered.
it's not a secret tool, it's just a screwdriver with a special kind of head on it, and then you have to lift it up and put it all back together. Removing 2 screws, it's not just like pulling them out, you have to,
You have to remove screws.
yeah.
Do you
yeah.
have a team?
We can just have part-time staffers do
Okay.
that one. And then
That
Peter
would-
will
that
get
would
all
be
the
helpful.
physical
I'll get the yard
signs.
signs, yeah.
And then you bring them usually to us and we'll,
I'll
Tell
bring them to
people.
you, yeah. And some of the H stakes are going to be beat up and can be tossed, but the
Awesome.
other ones you can save.
And
Maybe
then-
we'll have enough next year that we won't have to buy the stakes, although those aren't really that expensive.
okay.
Prices do go up every year, though.
Uh-huh.
And I should mention, there is a map online.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a
Bring it up.
basic, yeah, it's a Google map with a custom overlay that I created in the Google Maps program. I don't think anyone else can edit it,
Oops.
but they're all,
You can see most of them are in Solano.
yeah.
So then you can click on each one, it tells you,
It's
Yeah.
so cool.
Very cool.
It's
A lot
very
of
cool. That's a
work.
lot of work, Peter.
Yeah.
Once you get, once you get into the flow of it, it's just like copy, paste, it's not so bad. But it's nice to have that, and I guess you can't display it, right, on this one? Because when I look at it, it's the same map. It's a different overlay for, oh, yeah.
This
So,
one.
you've got 2017, so you should uncheck
that's funny.
2017. Yeah,
And
so
then-
this is just the ones for this year.
So then, yeah, you can click.
Yeah, but you can look at the ones for previous years too if you want to.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, it is really
Anyway,
cool.
so I guess we'll have some sort of feedback session, maybe after the first year with Becca, and review what we did and see if we want to make any changes for next year, if there is a next year.
Yeah.
Because we, this is funded by the Albany Community Foundation. Until we get the city to agree to fund these things as public art, we're stuck begging for
Right,
funding.
right, that's right. Okay,
Okay.
we talk about the Economic Development Committee. Brandon and Peter, but mostly Brandon, you've been representing.
Oh, no.
You will represent.
I will. I have not been. And
Okay.
I think that's why we're here to brainstorm real quick and just touch base on a couple of bullet points that we could
Yeah,
take to them, starting with potentially art on Solano,
Yes.
murals, some of the other items we've been talking about, funding performance,
sculpture
celebrations, et
loans,
cetera.
that's, it, yeah.
Excuse me.
Well, does anybody have access, I have access to some material from Berkeley and Oakland about the economic multiplier of art, just in case the committee wants those materials. I have some, do you have any of that, Andy?
I can look.
Can you look at
Maybe
that?
if
I have a bunch of Oakland materials. Lisa, do you have anything?
The only thing but the only thing that comes to mind is the California Arts Commission has some stuff on their
Oh,
site.
that's a good idea. Can you look into that?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks so much. That'd be great.
If everyone can send it to me, I can send it to the subcommittee
Great.
too for sharing.
Great. Anything else that people think? I know, right? I have so much I want to say, and I'm not going to say it.
One item that would be potentially interesting long-term would be to gauge their support for if the ordinance can eventually be changed
Yes.
to support performance art and similar things, is to get them on board with supporting.
Would you talk
Something.
about the issue?
Sure.
That would be great. That would be fantastic. And would you note that the ordinance has been changed in other cities, especially Berkeley, for example?
I mean, there are some specific things that maybe we could talk with them. In previous years, Amy St. George was on this committee. She kept wanting to get some of the vacant buildings to be used as pop-up art display places, either as galleries or at least to take the windows.
Yeah, and use
repurpose
those.
the windows. And we ran, I think she spent some time looking into it, and ran into insurance issues. The building owners didn't want people getting in and then being liable for stuff that happened. Using their storefronts with, displaying the windows, so that they're just blank or covered over in paper would be something that we could work with the city.
That's a
Because
good
they
idea.
could put us in touch with the owners. Another thing would be to ask them where they might see a performance space or performance spaces, either on San Pablo or somewhere on Solano, that maybe the Chamber of Commerce or the Solano Association could be made aware of as a place where events could take place. If they wanted to have something, they could contact us or So, or we could work with them to set up an actual schedule so that they would know about it and they could use it as an excuse to bring business to the
Yeah.
street.
Even
Right.
just asking what would be prime times for them, like
Right.
prime times out of the year, and what they would think the budgets might potentially be. What could, I understand it's very little, but what could merchants potentially contribute, or the associations potentially contribute or subsidize along those lines?
And do you think that they mostly think of their budget and subsidy thing going towards all those events that happen from the Solano Avenue Association?
Their committee does not have a budget. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Yeah,
things that-
they don't have a budget
don't have
at
a
all.
But I don't have in mind them
But-
having a budget.
right,
I'm
you have
having
the
them telling us what the
businesses
businesses might be able to.
Realistically
Great.
could, right.
basically do.
Okay. And then one of the things that's increasingly concerning to me is getting a better feel for, not for your department, Eva, which I think we have a really good feel for, but the other departments of the city, which just seem like concrete walls, barriers to getting art up, like Public Works or traffic and safety. How to work with those parts, because I think we've all, in this committee, we've totally experienced just bam, the wall of, no, this isn't going to happen until you do the X, Y, and Z. You know, so I would ask them if they have any insight into how other departments of the city would interface with that committee. And have they got a strategy?
I'm not sure that they've actually worked with any other department besides maybe community development, but I don't see, you can ask, but I don't
Yeah,
see
ask.
that they've,
They've not interfaced, right?
I can't think of any projects that they've worked with besides, like the Solano streets or permitting or zoning or anything like that too, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
They have all their meeting notes and documentation online, the same way we do, right? So we
Could look at
can
that.
see what they've been talking about.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Do a little homework, yep.
All right, so do you feel like you can go there with something?
So the
Thank you.
plan is to get you on the agenda then, so that
You're on the agenda, the February 6th meeting.
Okay.
Can't back out now.
Okay.
You can totally back out, but,
Time?
yeah.
So what time is it
It's
again?
at 5, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to
Go in advance.
double check. Uh-huh, yeah. And I will try to make that meeting as well, too, if you have
Is
questions.
it here?
Yes, yeah.
Great. Okay, future agenda items.
I
Oh.
have a question, actually.
Sure.
It's December, are we all termed out? Do we have to reapply?
It's 2 years, so,
2 years,
yeah.
so we're good
So
for
this is
another-
the first year, you're halfway there. Yeah,
So
yeah.
we don't,
We don't do anything,
no.
because we noticed that the officers of the city, the council just changed.
Yes, then they are annually.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All
But
right.
committees and commissions are all 2-year terms. Yeah, so you have
All right.
one more year to go. On that note, too, I was going to also just mention, we have 2 months before the next meeting, and it's the break, and hopefully everyone has some holidays. But look at the work plan, look at the PAPP halfway through the year, what's been accomplished, what are the goals, how can you contribute, and
Good idea.
just kind of keep that on the forefront. We can,
Good idea. Thank you.
do we don't have to make any presentations to council next year, right?
not unless there's a,
Change.
yeah, or an agenda item that you're,
What about the
advising them on.
mural? Is that going to be coming up in
that one,
February?
that one, hopefully, that's my homework, yeah. So hopefully that's February too, to get with the artists and the owners and everything too,
Okay.
and move that along.
All right. Now can we go to future agenda items? Are we good? Okay, let's do that. I'm going to go to a meeting this Wednesday where Steve Savage from Blueberry is going to be talking to, I think it's the Planning Commission. And they could stop his project, the Blueberry School of Rock, or they could approve it. So I'll report back on that
Okay, and that would probably go under announcements.
That's just going to be an announcement.
Is this the School of Rock that's by?
No, this is a
It's
different
another
School
School
of
of
Rock. That's a
Rock, okay.
franchise School of Rock.
Okay.
That's a nationwide thing. And
Okay.
Blue Bear has a couple, is mostly a San Francisco-based thing, but they all live in Albany now. Or a bunch of them live in Albany, and they want to do it here.
Do they have a location?
Yeah, they do. The Valparaiso Cafe on Solano.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
They're going to move in there?
yeah,
They're going to take over this?
yeah. Isn't that great? Do you remember when there was a club on Solano called Earl's Solano Club? Was anybody here? It was in the 80s. Oh, it was awesome. It was a great performance space, and it was right around there. It was jumping every night. The joint was jumping. I was jumping, I was young. Okay, future agenda items. So I'd like to report back on that. Oh, that's an announcement, sorry.
The Economic Development Subcommittee, I
Please.
assume, report back.
Sculpture
This
Lounge
will
will
be
make a
outside.
report. Going to make a report on the film,
I'll just be.
an announcement. Okay, great. Cheryl will make a report, I'm sure, on the gallery.
On a side note, Andy, I just today got an email from the city of El Cerrito. They're asking a bunch of art folks about utility boxes. So I said, can you share that information? So if I get that information, mostly she's gotten that cities don't own their utility boxes, and so the utility companies are saying no, but I'll report back. Yeah,
They say no.
because they own it. I don't know what's the
Why
tipping
do they
point,
do in
like.
Berkeley? There are all sorts of,
They
You know,
probably own their
I did some
own.
research on that.
Tell us.
And just getting through to a human that actually has some concept of, what's going on out there has been, I found, extremely challenging.
Wow.
I kept being circled back to customer service. It was, so,
Yeah, nobody really knows.
yeah, it's going to take a connection, I think,
San Leandro
It's-
does have a program that works, although I have heard that some of the utility boxes they own and some they
Right.
do not.
Right.
But they were able to establish
Yeah.
and get the program.
yeah, I mean, they're all over, so it's just hard to imagine that.
I thought I saw something near the post office in front of the kind of, that shop that's around the corner that sells.
Morningside?
Yeah, don't
Morning
they
Tide.
have a painted or decorated box?
I'm sure,
in
but
front of
they're
them?
very
There's-
precious.
Yeah.
So how did that?
They might have gone rogue, but it would be it might be worth asking. Yeah, that we can't condone, but it'd be worth finding out if anyone wants to stop in. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
middle
you're
of the
right.
night utility
Morning
box.
Tide.
Morning,
Yeah,
middle of the
okay.
morning.
So we have the gallery, the Economic Development Committee, the Sculpture Loan Program. Anything else for the next meeting?
If you think of anything,
Give it to
you want to do the
me.
utility boxes?
Utility
Okay.
boxes.
Utility
That'll be-
boxes, right.
If you think of anything, just a reminder to email me at least a week, but preferably 2 weeks before our meeting, and we can add it to the agenda too.
Okay.
I'd like to add something to the agenda. I'd like to talk about the Instagram account that the city of Albany has.
Right.
And, what kind of access we can have to it, can we use it? Because it's not really being used, and there's no evidence. I went through the whole history there. There's no postings about any of the art, even the openings at the community center. They're non-existent.
Will you send me an email with the link?
Yeah,
Because I'm
sure.
not even familiar with it. I'll see if it can, agenda items can only be something on the work plan. So I'll see if, where we should talk about that too.
Well, yeah, I get that, but I think since it's already established, I don't see this as being like a whole project. It's just
We just have to
connecting.
follow protocol. So I'll see where on the agenda we can put it. But if you email me, then I
Okay.
can look into it
Okay.
and with the link.
And you might
I
be
think that's a
able,
great idea. Could you
Yeah.
have the person in charge maybe come? to-
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
I don't know
That
who-
that would be the way to go. Right, because it's there, somebody's posting on it.
'Cause I agree. I mean, it's already ongoing, so I think all we would want to do is be able to
Connect,
feed them information.
Yeah.
Or,
exactly.
if they
Just
don't allow us.
know who it
Just
is.
connect with them,
Yeah.
just connect,
Yeah.
like say, hi, we exist,
And that could be one of our threads, like the haiku thread and like the film festival thread, things that we're not paying for. but that we keep,
Yeah.
we keep tabs
I
on.
mean, it's there.
Yeah,
know?
thank you,
Right,
Lisa.
yeah.
That's a great,
Yeah.
that's great. All right.
How much the city is actually putting into it.
And it's not the recreation one.
I've only found one, City of Albany, and I follow it. And,
Yeah.
so anytime they post, because it's so seldom.
Sure.
I'm always like, oh, my God.
Right.
There's somebody there. There is somebody actually there.
Okay.
So
It
they're
might-
really not doing very much, the city's not doing much in social media.
No, not hardly any, at least on Instagram, which is where, especially in the arts, visual arts,
Yeah.
that's where the populace is.
Yeah, yeah.
It just seems like it's just there waiting to be used,
Sure.
you know.
Didn't we have a media intern or a media
Oh,
person?
that'd be cool.
Not
Wow.
that I know of.
Okay.
We have a PIO, a Public Information Officer. I don't know if she runs the city's social media or not. In recreation, we run our own, so we have Facebook and Instagram.
And what is the name of your Instagram account?
I can
When
email
you
you.
find it, send
I
it to
don't-
us.
Albany Rec, at Albany Rec. I don't know. I'll email
Yeah,
you.
yeah, that'd be great.
But
Um,
the idea of an intern, though, is that, I mean, that would be
I
fantastic.
know, that's all you need, right, Zebo? You got a high school kid that can do these.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like
Half a second.
some kid would love that.
I know. I agree.
So the different,
It's a talk about economic development, that's like, there are jobs out there that pay that, for-
and we, for the recreation department, we have our part-timers and we have some high schoolers running our social media. It's a little bit looser than the city of Albany. The city of Albany is very strict on what they can and cannot
Okay.
post because it's a city government. So I'll find out who runs the city
Yeah.
Instagram account. But it might be something where it goes to the recreation Instagram account instead. I'm sure there's more followers, there's more active posting, and so, anyway, something to look into.
But, yeah, as long as we have a contact, then we maybe can talk to them about all of this, right?
Yes, yeah. And it would be off our work plan, but would we be able to establish as a committee our own Instagram account, Arts and Albany account?
I don't know. Good
Let's
question.
find out.
That could also be potentially an economic development
Right.
collaboration thing, or
Right.
if they want to help with
Events, if they want one, if they want a social media account.
I was going to say longer term, not anything immediate, but along the lines of an intern for social media communications. I think the committee could benefit from some type of intern or very part-time staff. It could be a graduate student or similar to do some research or legwork on grant opportunities or other items when we need to dig into details and no one has the time.
Right.
If the economics were there, it might be productive to have some type of 10 hours a week, 15 hours a week, someone just doing that type of legwork.
Wow, that's a lot of work. That's good. That'd be great. Okay, so I'm not sure what the agenda item is, but maybe interns and
And I might be able to find out more information between now and then and
great,
send
it
that out.
Yeah, thanks, Eva. All right, the next meeting is Monday. Anything else for the agenda? Good, okay. Next meeting is Monday, February 10th at 7. It will be 7:05 to 7:10 for me. And who would like to move to adjourn this meeting? Zebo, you do it.
Okay.
You say, I move.
I move to adjourn this meeting.
Randy, you must second it.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a great winter season.